Hey guys, Big Films 39 here, back with another Blu-ray update. Haven't done one since August. I always plan to do one every 6 months at least, but I never really stick to that. I always put these off, just because I'm busy, and that's why you mostly only see unboxings from me. But I definitely want to change that. I'd like to do more updates, have more interaction with you guys in this form. You guys seeing my face, doing more movie reviews and stuff like that, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do that next week with Batman versus Superman coming out. You guys saw with some of my in my previous unboxings, I got a couple of movies and TV seasons, or I got tickets for Batman versus Superman with those purchases, so definitely going to be seeing that, and hopefully I'll have a day one review for that. But yeah, I have some time now to do an update, and because my last one was in August, like always, I have a big stack to show you guys, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah, and I got to show you guys Shopkick. I know some of my subscribers, you guys might be pretty tired of me doing this, and I've gotten some feedback on that in my unboxing videos, and in my unboxing videos I'll start doing that at the end of the video after the unboxing is finished. So for those of you who have heard me talk about Shopkick a million times, you guys won't have to go through that anymore. But for this video, the complaint I get is that the Shopkick ad, it takes up too much of the unboxing video. It's like half of the video, but here, this is probably going to be at least an hour long. No complaining this time. So for those of you who aren't my regular viewers, Shopkick is just a great shopping app, and gives you the opportunity to earn points that you can redeem for gift cards when you go shop at your favorite stores like Best Buy, Target, Walmart. Great for us movie collectors. It's completely free to download. When you walk into one of these stores, take a few moments to open up the app, and you earn points just like that, and you can redeem them for gift cards. I know it might sound like a scam, and that's kind of what I thought at first, but it's definitely not. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to give your credit card information. So I highly recommend it, and you're really kind of missing out. I mean, of course you're not gonna earn tons of money or anything, but if you value a $5–10 gift card here and there to save some money on your movie purchases, then it's a great app, and you should definitely use it. So you can help me out by downloading it through my link in the description. Again, that's it's called Shopkick. Yeah, download it through my link in the description. Alright, so Blu-ray update. Got a big stack of stuff here, and as always, they're not all recent purchases. Some of them are. Some stuff I've had in my collection for years, but didn't get around to watching the Blu-ray until now. So yeah, showing you all the stuff that I've watched in my collection since my last update, which was in August. Alright, I'm going to start off with a couple of memorabilia type stuff, a few pops and figures here that I picked up recently. So I have the Sadness Funko Pop from Inside Out, which I have in the stack here to show you later. But I almost all of the pops except for one here that I'm going to show you. All the other pops in my collection I get from Disney Movie Rewards. I really like these rewards when they have them. So I'm not a big Funko Pop collector. I have a really small collection. I'll do a video one day of all the pops I have, but yeah, it's not something I want to spend money on or really put an effort into collecting. But when there's an opportunity to get one through Disney Movie Rewards, I definitely take advantage. So that's Sadness, and I also have Anger here. Really like both of these. You can obviously tell if you were holding these in your hand. They are way bulkier and heavier than the regular pops, and you can see they're really kind of chunky and filled out. So I really like that, and Inside Out was a really great movie, so I definitely like those pops. And then this is the only pop that I've ever paid for that I didn't get through Disney Movie Rewards. This was the GameStop exclusive Batman Funko Pop that was released with what was it, the latest Batman game, Arkham Knight. These were available for pre-order back in July, and I think if you ordered it back then, you could get it early before it released in September, and I ordered it on like the last day, so I didn't get it in the summer. I had to wait until September, and honestly I'm a little disappointed with it. I paid 15 bucks, kind of pricey if you ask me. And you know, all of the Funko Pops, you get kind of a crappy paint job with them. You know, they're kind of a little, it's a spotty paint job here and there. I don't think you can really see it there, but the thing about this one is that it looked different. The stock image, you can see those blades there on those fins on Batman's forearm there. They're gray and they're long. They look way different than you know, what's actually there, which are just some short black fins there. So I didn't like that, so kind of disappointed with this pop. I wasn't going to get any of the other ones in the series. Well, I was thinking about getting the what's it, the Arkham Knight one, yeah, but I didn't. So yeah, it's Batman, you know, that's the reason I got it, but not too pleased with that one. And then for Christmas, I got the Kylo Ren figure here from Target. Bobblehead. Looks pretty cool. Really like the character of Kylo Ren, at least in costume, in The Force Awakens. I wanted to get the pop, Funko Pop for Kylo Ren, but ended up getting this one, and still pretty cool. You can see his lightsaber there, and looks cool on the shelf. And then the last one here is the Nightwing figure that came with the Batman Bad Blood Deluxe version, and this was actually the Canadian version. You can see there, you got the, what's going on here, the French letter in there, because I wanted to get the Steelbook, and you know, Target screwed us again, or I guess Warner Brothers, but on Blu-ray.com they only released the Steelbook like the weekend before the movie came out, and of course, you know, you can't pre-order it from Target anymore. I knew they weren't going to have any in store, so I just ordered it from Amazon Canada. Got the Steelbook. Hopefully they do another one of these for the next film coming out, Justice League versus Teen Titans. But yeah, got a figure with that. Okay, so on to the movies. Let me start off here. Actually, let me start off with the only DVD, and that is X-Men, the Animated Series, Volume 1. I picked up all the volumes, all 5 volumes of this series back in the summer, you know, trying to beef up and collect, or complete my animated superhero TV show collection. So picked up all 5 volumes. I was only able to finish this season, currently on the second one, and it's a really great show. I saw a few episodes here and there when I was young. I was always intrigued by X-Men, always really loved you know, all the X-Men and the whole universe. And this is a really good show, really action-packed, really fast-paced. I did, though, watch the X-Men and the Wolverine, the series that came out, I think, in like 2008, 2009. I watched that before I watched this, so there were definitely a lot of you know, repeated episodes and storylines. That was so that, you know, wasn't too enjoyable. Of course, this was the original one, and the other one came out like 15 years later. But I'd watched that one first, so you know, that kind of took a little bit away from the experience of watching this. but still a great series. I'm really enjoying the second volume. Yeah, X-Men Volume 1. Alright, and a couple of unopened titles, and I'm including them in this update because I'm not going to unbox them. I have the X-Men metal pack that I got at Best Buy. Came with a Deadpool ticket, and I believe it was only $7.99, and the Deadpool ticket was $8, so, you know, I had to get it. I was going to see Deadpool anyways, of course. And X-Men, this is probably my favorite superhero live-action series ever. I do enjoy it more than the Dark Knight trilogy, and X2 is my favorite movie, but X-Men is a really solid movie that gets underlooked. I say this all the time. I think it's like the perfect blend of comic book and you know, like that realistic tone that Christopher Nolan tries to go for. I think Nolan lost the comic book aspect too much in the Dark Knight films, and you know, Marvel now is losing the serious tone in a lot of their movies. So X-Men, I think, got that blend perfect. So I really love the original X-Men live action movie, as well as X2 and even X3, which everyone hates. I still enjoy some of that movie. And then the other movie that I got that came with the Deadpool ticket as well is RoboCop, the original film. And this comes with a faceplate. I think originally it was supposed to have a slipcover with the same artwork, but it didn't have it at Best Buy. And I really like this artwork. It's kind of prism-like, if you can see there. And RoboCop is one of my favorite films. And I already own the 4K version. I own the trilogy box set. So I'm not going to open this up, but I like that artwork a lot, and I really like RoboCop. And Deadpool, I did not do a movie review for it. I want to catch up on that at some point, but I actually hated the movie. I thought it was stupid. I know everyone loved it, but yeah, I did not like Deadpool. Alright, Indian in the Cupboard. This is one I picked up from Best Buy. I price matched it actually with Amazon. I think it was $6.99 on Amazon, so that was a good deal. A movie that I watched a few times as a kid, and revisiting it, you know, it's nothing amazing, but it's nostalgic. It's cool to see this this little Indian guy. I was always really intrigued by the cupboard scene in this movie as a kid, when he puts the toys in the cupboard and locks it up at night, and then it shakes and it glows, and the toys come to life in the morning. It's a fun little movie. It's kind of weird, the boys in this movie, you know, they kind of look like girls, this main character here, and you know, they have really whiny voices, so I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but I kind of got a weird vibe there, but Indian in the Cupboard. Alright, and then we have Godzilla 4K. Picked this up at Best Buy as part of buy one get one free deal on $10 titles. I got this and the Ghostbusters 4K 1 and 2 Digibook, and I'd never seen this movie before. And this movie, I thought that everything they did with Godzilla, with the creature, visually, just every aspect of Godzilla was way better than, you know, anything they did, or what they did with Godzilla in the 2014 version. Just watching Godzilla, you know, rampage through the city and destroy buildings and step on cars and all that, and seeing the military fight Godzilla in this, that was pretty enjoyable. That was pretty cool. But the rest of this movie, they just tried to make it such a whitewashed vanilla drama. It really took me out of it. Yeah, I really hated the whole human aspect of the movie. and that's where I think the 2014 version is a better movie all around. But as far as Godzilla goes, I would much rather they stick to the formula they use in this movie than the kind of what they did in the latest movie, where they just kind of show you his tail, and they try to make him out to be like a mysterious mythical creature that you never actually see until the end. So overall, I didn't really enjoy this, but I did like seeing Godzilla cause havoc. Okay, a couple of Bond titles. I picked all of these up on Black Friday except for one, which was The World Is Not Enough, but I picked the rest of them up because they were on sale for $3.99. And I had never seen any of the old ones before. Well, actually, I saw, which one was it? Thunderball. I rented that like a couple weeks before Spectre came out, and then, or maybe like a month before, and then these went on sale. Picked a couple up that came with Spectre movie tickets, and then I got the rest of them on Black Friday. But Live and Let Die with Roger Moore. This is easily by far one of the worst Bond films that I've seen so far. I haven't seen all of them yet, but this was really boring. It was terrible. You don't really get any good meaty action until the end of the movie, and there's like this boat chase on the Louisiana Delta, and it's like 30 minutes long, and I just didn't like this movie really much at all. And then Goldfinger, the one that everyone says is the best James Bond film, definitely better than Live and Let Die, but I still found it pretty boring. And I know, all of the Bond films, they're older, they're British films, and they have that kind of that slow, dry kind of British, that element to them. And most of the Bond films are like that, and they have a really big action payoff at the end. And I definitely really like the ending to this movie, but up until the end, I thought it was pretty boring. And then GoldenEye, this one I was really surprised by. This might actually be one of my favorite Bond films. I think on a couple different lists that I looked at online, this was ranked pretty highly in the top 10 of the 24 Bond films. 24 before Spectre. It was ranked in the top 10 on several different lists, but I really enjoyed this one. I really like the action scenes. I think probably some of the best filmed action scenes in any of the Bond films. I actually like Pierce Brosnan. He's other than Sean Connery, he's probably my favorite Bond. So yeah, I really like this one. I think it had one of the easiest stories to follow of any of the Bond films, and really good action scenes. And Sean Bean is in this one, so that was fun too. So good movie. And then The Spy Who Loved Me with Roger Moore. This was a pretty good one. Some good action scenes. I don't remember everything about it too well, but this is the one with Jaws, classic Bond villain, and had some good action scenes from what I can remember. And I do remember liking this one. Better than average Bond film. Pretty solid. And I have some more Bond films, but I'll show those when I get to the Steelbooks. Those were the only standard versions I've watched so far. And then we have Roadhouse here. What is this? I'm pretty sure it's an anniversary edition. That's kind of weird. I think it had a sticker on it that said it was like the 25th anniversary edition or something. But I love the red case. And I actually had never seen this movie before buying it, and man, I really loved it. It's such a testosterone movie. They're playing Texas blues in the bars, and Swayze's a bouncer, and a lot of fist fights and really great fight scenes. Really enjoyed this one. If you love action movies, then you should love this movie. So really liked Roadhouse. That was great. Liam Neeson Nonstop. This was on sale for Black Friday. It was $8. Nice, nice matte finish slipcover. And I saw this one a couple years ago in the theater, and I thought it was a really good kind of mystery movie. You know, they're trying to find out who the terrorist is on this plane, who's threatening to set off bombs that are in the plane, and Neeson is the what do you call it, the agent on the plane. And I really liked you know, the build up, the mystery element, but the ending I thought was a complete cop out, very weak. Kind of ruined the whole movie for me when I saw it originally, but watching the Blu-ray again a couple years later, I didn't let the ending didn't ruin the rest of the movie for me. I still thought it was a really good kind of mystery suspense movie, and I already knew the ending was bad, but you know, I was able to enjoy the movie as a whole a lot more, and some good action scenes in it. So Nonstop, a pretty good movie, but the ending you know, was still pretty weak. All right, and now we have some Disney titles. Winnie the Pooh, a very merry Pooh year. This is one I picked up a couple years ago from Disney Movie Club, and it's just not good. It didn't even feel, you know, Christmassy at all. Yeah, I don't recommend you waste your time or money on that one. Return to Neverland. This was you know, it's not the worst Disney sequel, but not too good of a sequel either. I don't remember too much about it. I saw it you know, like over 6 months ago, but you know, there's no reason to watch this one over the original any day. I mean, if you've already seen it, give it one watch if you're a big Disney fan, but yeah, after watching that, I just wanted to watch the original Peter Pan. And then we have Atlantis 1 and 2, The Lost Empire, and Milo's Return. This is one that I got when I originally joined the Disney Movie Club like 3 years ago. And I actually saw the first one in the theater way back in like 2000 or 2001, I think. And I didn't remember any of the movie. Watching it, I thought the intro was great. It had this great, you know, adventurous vibe to it, treasure hunt thing, like Indiana Jones, something like, you know, that kind of theme. But as the movie went on, it just kind of got slow and uninteresting, and you know, I realized why it's not a very celebrated Disney movie. So, not a very memorable Disney movie. And then Milo's Return, the sequel. It's your typical, you know, Disney sequel. Very bad. Did not like that one at all. And one thing about this movie that is interesting, I can't remember which one came out first. I think this came out after Treasure Planet, and I think that's kind of interesting because they both have that kind of, you know, adventure kind of sci-fi feel to it. And Treasure Planet, I think, is a far better movie, but kind of interesting that Disney was exploring that theme for a couple years there. I think they should make another movie like that today. Another Disney sequels, and you know, these were movies that you know, I got through Disney Movie Club, and I just put off watching the sequels, so I finally got around to a few of them. But 101 Dalmatians, Patch's London Adventure, just don't watch it. It's really a waste of your time. Okay, The Incredibles. One of the titles that I got when I first joined the Disney Movie Club. I actually own a bootleg DVD of this, but I saw it in the theater way back in, what was it, 2004, 2005. And I love the movie. Watched it a few times over the years. And watching it again, honestly, it wasn't as amazing as I had originally thought. but still definitely one of the best, not only Pixar but Disney movies overall to come out in the last 10 years. You know, it's a superhero movie, and you know, we're finally going to get the sequel. I don't know why it took them so long, but still a really great Disney movie. Probably might make my top 10, but if not in the top 10, definitely very close outside of it. So yeah, The Incredibles is a really great Disney movie. And then we have Inside Out. This was the Best Buy exclusive that came with those different face cards for the different characters, and I actually took those out. But Inside Out, saw it in the theater, loved it. Great Pixar movie. You know, way better than Zootopia, which just came out. Really enjoyed it. You know, I kind of like that, even though, you know, the movie's about emotions, I didn't think it was that emotional of a movie. It was just kind of a cute, playful movie. Definitely emotional at the end, but I didn't think it was really forced throughout the movie. Very unique concept, great animation, and I really liked Inside Out. Alright, Iron Man 3. Picked this up also on Black Friday. It was on sale for $10. And I had not seen this since I saw it in the theater in 2013. When I first saw the movie, I absolutely hated everything about it. You know, I thought the humor was really bad in the movie. I hated the villain. I hated that, you know, that whole storyline with the kid. And I hated the fact that you don't get to see much of Iron Man in the suit in the movie. Watching the Blu-ray, you know, a couple years later, no, you know, when you see a movie the first time and you hate it and you know what's wrong with the movie, the second time you watch it, you know, you're expecting those things, and I think generally you can enjoy the movie more for, you know, what you like in the movie. And I thought there were some great action scenes in this. A really fun action movie, you know, with War Machine at the end, and you do get some of Iron Man at the end of the movie. I did a complete 180 on it. Actually, I really enjoyed this the second time. Just a really fun action movie. Not a great Iron Man movie. Not a great superhero movie. Honestly, the only superhero movies, the only Marvel movies that I think are really great are Captain America, Winter Soldier. The first one is, it's also good, but Captain America, those movies, the first Avengers movie, and then Civil War, I'm so excited for. I think that's going to be one of the best movies of all time. I'm probably just overly excited for it from the trailer, but I think that really looks amazing. And, you know, everyone says that we have, you know, the superhero genre is saturated today, and there are a ton of these movies, but honestly, not that many of them are truly great, and that's why I'm really looking forward to Civil War. But you know, this was a fun movie, but you know, not a great superhero movie. All right, and we have Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2. Picked these up. They had them on sale at Best Buy. I think they were $10 each. Love the slip covers on them, and they came with a ticket to see, not Kung Fu Panda 3, but the Peanuts movie. And I had seen the first Kung Fu Panda before. I had never seen the second one. Watched them again, and these are really good animated movies. You know, everyone loves Shrek, but I think these take the cake for the best animated DreamWorks movies, for me at least. First one is fun, you know, it's a cute story, but the second one I thought was really good. Pretty much a non-stop action movie, and I thought they tried to go pretty deep with the story for an animated movie. I was really impressed by it. You know, even though it's it's Kung Fu Panda, it's kind of dumb humor. It's an animated movie. I thought it was a great martial arts movie, probably one of my favorites ever now after watching it. I was really impressed with both of them, but especially Kung Fu Panda 2. And unfortunately, Kung Fu Panda 3, which I didn't get around to doing a movie review for, that gets a big thumbs down. That movie was awful. A very poor effort compared to the first two movies, which were really good. That felt very cash grabby, and they just didn't put any effort into telling a good story. And there's almost no action really in that movie. I mean, compared to this one, which was a non-stop action movie, that was a big disappointment. All right, and I have one kind of random title I left here. At the end, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This was a title I picked up when Blockbuster was closing a few years ago from my local store. I think it was only like $4 or $5. I had seen the movie once before, a long time before that. But watch this again, and this is a really underrated, fun action movie. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, they're all kind of like fantasy characters. They have different powers and stuff, and Sean Connery plays this awesome marksman in it, and kind of a non-stop action movie. It had a really great ending, and not just kind of like a throwaway dumb action movie. The story is kind of really it's very fantasy like, but it doesn't feel just like like Sin City or something. It is a solid movie, really good action, and the ending was very, very good. So I highly recommend you guys check this out if you've never seen it. I don't see many people talk about this or show it in their collection. So yeah, check this one out, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's a really underrated action movie. All right, now on to the steelbooks. I have a big stack here. But the first one I'm going to show you, excuse me, not actually a steelbook, but this was the tin for Jurassic World. It wasn't exclusive, but saw this movie in the theater and nothing worked for me from the movie. Really hated it. The whole human element of the movie was terrible, and yeah, I didn't like it at all. Watching the Blu-ray again, knowing what the problems were with the movie, I was able to kind of overlook them. And while I did not think the movie was good, I thought it was at least entertaining, which I didn't even really feel that way watching it the first time. So upon second watch, a good kind of mindless, entertaining movie. What's it called? The Indominus Rex. Watching him eat people and all that. It was fun. I mean, that's what you get in all the other Jurassic World movies. The first Jurassic World is still the only great movie in the franchise, but yeah, the kid in the movie, the two kids, that was really dumb and uninteresting, but I was able to overlook that the second time, and I did at least, I was entertained, enjoyed it more, but definitely still not like a good movie, I wouldn't say, but entertaining. All right, now on to the steelbooks. Furious 7. This was a movie that I really liked when I saw it in the theater. Did a movie review for it. I gave it an A-, and watching the Blu-ray, did a complete 180. I thought it was really bad. And I'll show you the back art there, but yeah, the acting was terrible. Noticeably, the story, everyone said the story was really choppy, and you could tell there were things that there were subplots and things that they cut out. And I was aware of that after the first viewing, but after the second viewing, that was even more apparent to me. And then the action scenes, I don't know if it was just I noticed the shaky cam, but I just couldn't enjoy the action scenes like I did in the first viewing. So I don't know. I was really kind of disappointed, just because I like the movie so much the first time I saw it, And I said I gave it an A minus after the first viewing. I think I'd knock this down to about a C or C minus. Honestly, that's how much that's how differently I felt about it. And I would have said after I watched this the first time that this was easily my favorite movie in the franchise, but now I think I have to go with Fast 6 as my favorite. Alright, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I like the artwork on the back a lot better than this kind of really generic front artwork, but saw this one in the theater. It's a good Mission Impossible movie. Definitely feels like this was more of just a generic action-oriented movie than the other movies in the franchise, which are more kind of espionage type films. If you don't like the other Mission Impossible movies, you probably don't have any reason to like this one. The story was a lot simpler. I mean, you watch this one and then you watch the first film. I mean, they're almost completely different in terms of just how accessible the story is. I mean, this is very easy to follow. There's nothing really to miss in this movie, which I kind of like because, the first movie, that's one thing that really turned me off, was that it was just almost impossible to follow. But yeah, it's a solid action movie. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't amaze me or anything when I saw it in the theater, and pretty much felt the same way after watching it the second time. So good, decent movie. I don't know if it's my favorite. After I saw Ghost Protocol, I saw Ghost Protocol for the first time like a year before this, and after watching this, I said Ghost Protocol, that's still my favorite one. And I watched Ghost Protocol again after watching this, and I did not like it nearly as much as I did the first time. So it's between this one and 3 for me. I still really like 3. 3 definitely has the best villain of any movie in the franchise, and feels a lot darker, and has a serious tone to it. More of a way more suspenseful movie than this one, but I don't know. They're close, and this is it's solid. Nothing great, but a good movie. And now we have the Bond Steelbooks. These came out, I think a month or two before Spectre came out, and I picked up all of them for the old films. I already owned the Craig Bond films, so I didn't pick up those Steelbooks. But there were 5 of them, I think, and I bought all of them, but I don't have Thunderball in this update because I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet. That's the movie that I rented before Spectre came out, and I saw that before I bought the Blu-ray, so I haven't watched that one yet. But You Only Live Twice. This is one of my favorite Bond films. Probably not one you hear too much about. Kind of disappointing artwork there. Not much going on, but Donald Pleasance who plays Dr. Loomis in the Halloween series. He's the villain in this. He lives like in I think it was in a volcano, and he has he has one good eye, and he has this cat. Just creates an image of a kind of a good villain, an interesting villain. But the movie, I think this had the best pacing of any Bond film I've seen so far. Sean Connery, good action scenes in it. Some really good hand-to-hand combat scenes in this. I really liked You Only Live Twice. This is one I'll probably revisit before most of the other Bond films when I get around to rewatching them. Diamonds Are Forever. This one was really disappointing. Very bad pacing. I lost interest in it. Some very slow parts, and then some just crazy parts. There's one scene where Sean Connery's just going from floor to floor in this big hotel building, and he ends up in they have this in this one room they have like a space movie set, like a stage setup where they have like the moon surface, and it's really weird. It has a really big action payoff at the end, but yeah, that's one of my least favorite Bond films. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. This one was pretty weird. You know, there's a scene where George Lazenby, who plays it's his only film with George Lazenby playing Bond. You know, there's a scene where he's with all these hookers up in like a hangout, you know, somewhere in the snow. I think it was in Sweden or something. Really weird, really slow up until the end, but there was some good action at the end. And Lazenby, he probably has the hardest accent of any of the Bond actors to understand. So this was kind of a middle of the road one for me. Not one of my least favorite, not one of my favorites. From Russia with Love. Another Sean Connery one. This one was pretty good. Had a really good kind of spy element to it in the beginning. You know, there's this sniper scene where they're you know, they're trying to track someone down. They're following this guy, and I think they start or Bond. I think he pulls out a sniper rifle, and you know, he's snipes this guy down who's like in a window in a building across the street. I really like that scene. And the rest of the movie, this one was the one that didn't have a big action payoff like the rest of the Bond films, but I still enjoyed it. There's a good train fight scene in this movie. So this one was pretty good. Alright, that's it. Well, actually, that's it for the old Bond films, and then I have Spectre here. I like the steelbook because the bullet hole there, you can feel it. It's like debossed there. That's kind of different for a steelbook. I like that. But this movie, another one in the theater, I just didn't really like. Was really disappointed by it. You know, it was just a very weak story compared to the other Bond films. And watching the Blu-ray again, I liked it a little more, but pretty much felt the same way. I just don't really know what they were doing with the story. They were trying to combine too many storylines, and I won't ruin it for you, but you know, this whole thing with the villain and how he ties into, you know, Bond's personal past, it just felt very contrived, and like they were trying to be way too clever, and it just came off as kind of a big joke to me. Skyfall, Casino Royale, those are great films, and this is not. This is pretty mediocre. I don't know, I really like Skyfall, and watching this just made me want to watch Skyfall. You compare those two movies, and Skyfall to me is just better in every single way. It's paced better. You know, the action is spread out really well throughout that movie. In this movie, you get like these really long, boring stretches between the action scenes. And you know, Skyfall, the villain, you had a great villain in Skyfall, which you don't really have here. The main villain is actually not a huge part of this movie. Doesn't have too much screen time. Christoph Waltz, who plays the villain, that guy's an amazing actor, and the little bit that he is on screen, he's great. His dialogue is great, but you know, they just didn't make him a big part of this movie because he wasn't really an actual villain. So I was just kind of disappointed overall with Spectre. All right, Ant-Man. This was the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. This is actually also debossed, kind of like the Spectre steelbook, that bullet hole there. But Ant-Man, fun movie. Not a great movie. Again, I saw it in the theater, and you know, this is where Marvel, I think, they kind of embrace this, you know, this kind of happy-go-lucky tone with some of their movies. It felt a lot like Guardian of the Galaxy, where they give you a really weak villain, you know, a weak villain who doesn't matter at all in the bigger Marvel universe. It doesn't tie into the Avengers, and that's why I like Captain America so much, because you know, the storyline from both Captain America 1 and Winter Soldier, they tie directly into, you know, what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D. and what's going to take place in the Avengers films. But Ant-Man, it was a fun movie. I like the visual effects when he shrinks down to ant size. There's some fun action, but the villain was really weak. I know, you know, not every movie has to be on a really grand scale, but I would have liked, you know, a little more of a serious, threatening villain. But overall, it was a fun movie, and watching the Blu-ray again, I thought it was still a fun movie. Not amazing, but it was good. I gave it like a B+, so, you know, solid movie. I think it's about just as good as Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I like it a little bit more. But I am really excited to see Ant-Man in Civil War, because, you know, he's a dangerous guy. He can get stuff done, and I just felt like he didn't really have anyone to fight in that movie. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do in Civil War. Then we have the Avengers Age of Ultron, the Best Buy Steelbook. I got the Vision one. I just think Vision is a way cooler character than Ultron. But this movie, when I saw it in the theater, I was really disappointed by just the plot. Ultron, you know, being Stark's own creation. You know, I was expecting them to have to face an actual villain. And, you know, if you can't tell, that's a recurring theme here with all the Marvel movies. You know, really weak villains, and I think DC totally has them beat there. I mean, even just with Man of Steel, General Zod was a way better villain than, you know, anything we've gotten with any of these Marvel movies. Yeah, I mean, it just felt like, is that really the best thing you can come up with, is to have them, you know, Tony Stark build a robot, and, you know, he goes bad for a day and they have to defeat him. I mean, why can't we have something that was going to tie into Civil War, or, you know, it just felt like, felt very irrelevant for, you know, how the Marvel universe is going to progress and continue. It's like you could have replaced that story with any other story, but the action scenes in the movie are still pretty good. You know, they're fun, they're entertaining, but that's about it. You know, you see all of these heroes that you love that were in the first Avengers film. You see them on screen again, and you know, if that's all the movie has to offer, it's like there's nothing really there. You know, it's just working just because of the heroes, and I want more than that. And I think the first Avengers movie really accomplished that. They gave us a much better villain in Loki. You know, that end scene was a lot more epic than I thought this one was. So when I watched the Blu-ray again, I thought, yeah, it's entertaining. I'm enjoying the action, but I mean, Ultron, that's just an irrelevant character, an irrelevant storyline, you know, for what's going to take place in the Marvel Universe going forward. Really looking forward to Civil War again. I actually have a Bond Steelbook here. I guess it got lost in the stack there, but For Your Eyes Only, this was a Roger Moore Bond film. And this one was kind of weird. It had some really good scenes. There's a really good skiing scene where Bond is being chased by some henchmen on the ski on the mountain, and that's actually in a lot of the Bond films. They go to these some of the Nordic countries, and they're in these snowy mountains, and there were some ski scenes in From Your Majesty's Secret Service. But I really like those ski scenes, and actually they're in Italy. One of the northern Italy cities close to Germany in this movie, and yeah, some good action scenes, but they had like this Miami Vice 80s theme going on, and maybe some of the other Bond films are like that, but it was the first one that I saw that was like that out of the few that I've seen, and it felt kind of weird, you know, kind of these hokey action scenes, and they were playing like this Miami Vice-like music, a little bit weird. But overall, I think it was a solid, pretty good Bond film. Again, kind of middle of the road, not one of my favorites, not one of the worst. It's pretty good. All right, Batman Bad Blood. This again was the Amazon Canada exclusive. It's just basically impossible to get one of these in the States now. Pretty mad at WB for, you know, when it started out, I mean, at least you had the opportunity to pre-order a steelbook from Target, but you know, that option has been taken away. And even back then, you know, I tried to pre-order a steelbook twice and got the regular version. And at least my local stores, they don't carry the steelbooks anymore. They only have like a few copies of the slipcover version. So not sure what's going on with the DCU titles. But yeah, I had to go with the Amazon Canada exclusive, kind of pricey, $30. But I didn't have to pay shipping because you know, I'm outside Canada, so that was good. But enough about that. Look at that artwork. It looks pretty cool. The movie doesn't actually look like that, but Batman Bad Blood, DCU is their last. 5 releases now have been really solid. I've been really impressed with them, and I thought they were really going downhill. You know, there was that stretch where they had War, Son of Batman, and Throne of Atlantis, which were all very mediocre, very disappointing films, and then they really turned it around with Arkham Asylum, Batman and Robin, Justice League Gods and Monsters, and then Batman Bad Blood. These have all been really solid films. I think Batman vs. Robin is the kind of the best one out of those. It really impressed me, but this was pretty good. Really liked some of the new characters like Batwing, which you can see up there, and who has like a high-tech suit, and he's kind of like Cyborg, actually, kind of a cyborg type character. And Batgirl, who's actually a lesbian in this movie. I thought that was a little interesting why they, you know, chose to explore that aspect of it so much. But you know, she was a pretty kick-ass character, and overall another a pretty solid Batman story. Batman is not in it too much, but I liked it. Seems like the violence and the action is getting more brutal with every film. So not great, but definitely serviceable, a good movie. I'll definitely watch it again at some point. I liked it, and you know, DCU's really convincing me that they can consistently put out quality films now. And I've been underestimating them. You know, I didn't think this one was going to be good based on the trailer. I didn't think Justice League Gods of Monsters was going to be good. I didn't think Batman vs. Robin was going to be good. And the next one, Justice League versus Teen Titans, I also don't think is going to be very good, but hopefully I'm surprised again, and I like that one. All right, and now we have a set of 6 steelbooks. Let's try to do this in order here. And I'm talking about Star Wars. These were the, not the exclusive steelbooks, but I got them from Best Buy, but I think they had them everywhere. Picked these up when they came out in November. Picked up all of them. I had never owned any of the Star Wars films on any format, so made sense for me to get them. Yeah, and Star Wars, I was never a big fan. Not because I didn't like the movies, but I just saw them when I was really young. Never remembered much of them, and never really watched them again after that. So I just wasn't really familiar with them, but really glad that I was able to pick these up, especially the original ones, because you know, I pretty much have become a Star Wars fan. You know, I recognize why everyone loves them. A New Hope, really love this movie. I really love that, you know, for the majority of this movie, it's not really a Star Wars movie, not like the other ones. You know, it's just about Luke on the farm, and I like that kind of that simple human aspect of the film. I like the character building and kind of the hero's journey of Luke. I like all of that. Really like A New Hope. You know, what can you say? It's Star Wars. It's the first film that kicked everything off. Really liked it. And then The Empire Strikes Back. This is everyone's favorite, and I will say the ending battle between Luke and Darth Vader, I love it. That's amazing. That's a great battle. I forgot to talk about the battle between Obi-Wan and Vader in the first movie, which was also, you know, the choreography wasn't great, certainly not what it's like in this movie, but I still enjoyed that battle. But battle between Luke and Vader is epic. It's kind of scary, you know, just seeing Vader is obviously one of the best villains ever, maybe the best in movie history. It's just kind of creepy, you know, seeing him kind of rise out of the shadows in the Death Star, and or not the Death Star, but whatever ship they're in, and seeing him fight Luke, I love that. The beginning of this movie feels kind of weird. You know, they're in the snow there, and you know, compared to the setting of A New Hope, that's something a little different. And I really like that battle that takes place in the snow in the beginning of the movie. But then when Luke leaves and he goes to train with Yoda, I know nobody agrees with me, but I felt that part was a little bit boring, a little bit long. And then you have the thing with Lando and Han Solo. And then I think the movie, it doesn't really pick up again until, you know, Luke comes to fight Vader, and ending is great. It's epic. I actually think I like A New Hope a little bit better, but definitely sections of this movie that I really love. And I know, you know, no one's going to agree with me on that, but that's how I felt. Return of the Jedi. Good movie. I don't know, I kind of liked how they, you know, wrapped things up in this at the end. You know, you have good lightsaber battles. I love the green lightsaber that Luke has in this movie, and the final battle between him and Darth Vader is pretty epic. Yeah, good movie. Probably not as good as either of the first two, but especially that beginning scene when he has to go fight that creature in the cave. That was really kind of weird, but you know, I think overall is a pretty strong conclusion to the original Star Wars trilogy. And then we have the prequels. And these, I think I saw them all in the theater, but I'd never seen them after that. And you know, they are pretty bad as everyone says. The lightsaber battles do just enough to keep me interested, to make me want to, you know, leave the possibility open of me watching these again. But they are definitely not very good movies, each one. Darth Maul is such a sinister-looking villain in this. I just wish they had done more with him in the film, had more lightsaber battles with him. But I love that ending sequence with him and Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. Attack of the Clones. Yeah, this is probably the one I like the least. I don't know, that whole gladiator scene at the end. That was kind of dragged out, and I don't know. This one's probably the worst one. I forgot to mention the pod racing in the Phantom Menace, that everyone, you know, kind of complains about those scenes and criticizes them, but I really enjoy the pod racing. Then we have Revenge of the Sith, and this one obviously is a lot darker. You know, Luke starts becoming Darth Vader, and I was actually pretty surprised at you know, some of the evil stuff he does in this movie. Probably the best of the prequels. I kind of like the Phantom Menace just because you get to see Anakin as a kid, and you know, some of the stuff he talks about, like one line of dialogue that really stuck with me is when Anakin is talking about having a dream where you know, he was the savior of his people, and he freed the slaves. That's some pretty deep stuff there. You know, there's some kind of some religious undertones to that, and I really liked that. I thought that was really dark. So I like seeing the beginning of Anakin, seeing his innocence, and obviously, you know, he becomes Darth Vader in this film. I still think I like the Phantom Menace a little bit better, just for you know, some of those scenes, seeing Anakin as a kid. But this is definitely, probably overall, you know, throughout the entire movie, it's probably the best of the prequels, the best paced one. You have some good battles in here. Yeah, but the Phantom Menace, I think, well, it's still a bad movie. There's some stuff that I really enjoy in that, and it's probably my favorite of the prequels. All right, only 2 titles left. Kind of surprised we're getting this in just a little bit over an hour. I thought it would take me at least 2, but all right, let's go with Creed. Yeah, good movie. Saw it in the theater. Really liked it. It was a surprise movie for me. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Really good storytelling and just good characters. That's what really made the movie for me. The boxing scenes were good. Nothing amazing, you know, but they were solid. Definitely better than Southpaw, which I really don't like that movie. Don't own it. I thought it was a really weak boxing movie. I don't know why anyone was comparing that to Rocky. This is a way better boxing movie than Southpaw, but good boxing scenes. But what really made the movie for me, again, was just the characters. Love the character of Creed. He's just kind of he came off as like a cool guy, and you know, his love interest in the movie. She was, you know, she had a nice performance, and you know, there was nothing too emotional about it. It was just kind of you know, them falling in love and seeing them interact, and you know, just eating cheesesteaks and you know, making music in her apartment. It was just kind of fun. It was like they're just kind of enjoyable, likable characters, and I like that. Stallone, I don't know, you know, he was good, and obviously you want him in this movie. I just wish they could have had him do something a little more important. I mean, yeah, he trained Creed, but I don't know. I kind of felt like he was there just to have Rocky there. I don't know. I kind of wish he could have fought someone. I mean, you know, not a boxing match or anything, but you know, maybe tussle with some thugs on the street or something like that. But Creed, you know, it's just kind of a feel-good story. You know, good boxing scenes and likable characters. So overall, solid movie. I gave it an A- when I saw it the first time, and I think I'll stick with that rating. It's a fun movie. All right, and the last title for this update. And kind of fitting because Batman vs. Superman is coming out next week, and this movie came with the ticket for that. Watchmen. This is the Steelbook. It was only $6.99, so I had I had to pick it up. You know, came with a $8 ticket, so you know, only made sense to pick it up. And I ended up after picking this up, I went back to get Gotham and Flash season 1, which also came with the tickets. But I haven't gotten around to watching those yet. That's why those are not in this update. But Watchmen, I have the DVD and did not see this one in the theater. Came out before I really got into movies like I am now. But watched the DVD for the first time about 3 years ago, and haven't watched it until now when I got the Blu-ray. And the first time I watched the movie, I don't want to say I hated it, but you know, I just wasn't really feeling it. I thought there were some really good action scenes, especially with Owlman and Rorschach. But the story, I just, you know, this really overly goofy world, you know, this kind of, they use the gore to be, you know, they use the violence to be humorous, and it's really gory just for the sake of humor, which I don't really like. I know that's probably true to the comic book, but I just don't like it. And actually, I watched this before Man of Steel came out, and because Zack Snyder was directing Man of Steel, I thought, you know, that movie's not going to be good. Zack Snyder's just, I mean, I don't want Superman to be like something goofy like this, and Man of Steel was not. That was actually, I was pretty impressed that Zack Snyder made like a normal looking movie that was, you know, pretty good. But Man of Steel, all the trailers, I love the trailer that leaked online like a year ago, the first one we got for Batman v Superman. And then everything after that, it feels like Watchmen kind of. I don't know, I feel like I'm watching some like 2003 Grand Theft Auto type CGI video game. You know, they're playing that kind of cranked up rock music, and you know, they're showing the Batmobile like it's a Ferrari or something, and Batman looks kind of goofy. He's holding a big gun at the end of the trailer, and it's just all explosions. And then Doomsday, he looks like you know, he looks like something you'd fight in a video game, some crazy boss thing, and they're playing that crazy cranked up music. I don't know, it feels like Watchmen, and that's not what I want to see for Batman, you know, my favorite superhero. But enough about, you know, how I feel about Batman versus Superman. Watchmen, this is the director's cut. On the second watch, I was able to appreciate it more. I kind of understood more, you know, what the story they were trying to tell, and it's just kind of the dark side of being a superhero, you know, not being appreciated by humanity, kind of, you know, blurring that line between being a hero and a villain. I appreciated those themes. I liked it. It was a drama. It's a slow burn. I can kind of appreciate some of those themes, but you know, they just go too deep into all these different characters, stories, and I don't know. It still feels way too long. It's 3 hours. It took me 3 sittings to finish this one. I really like the ending. I really like you know, the story and the storyline of Rorschach. I like the action scenes with Owlman, and the ending when well, I guess I shouldn't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but you know, the ending involving Rorschach, I kind of got a little sad, but yeah, I like the themes that it kind of explored about humanity and you know, what it's like to be a protector, a savior, dealing with the, you know, the kind of the dark side of that. So I appreciated it more than I did in the first viewing, but still it has its problems. Still, it's a little too goofy, and I just worry that Batman versus Superman is going to be a little bit too much. You know, the atmosphere, the setting, the atmosphere of the movie, it's going to be a little bit too similar to this. It's going to be a little too goofy, I think, for me. But yeah, Watchmen, it's something I probably won't watch again for another few years. But when I watched it the first time, I think after after the first time I watched it, I said, that's something I can't ever watch again. But I think there are some good lessons to be learned from watching this. Some some nice themes that it explores. So it grew on me a little bit. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this Blu-ray update. That's everything that I watched since last August in my collection. Of course, I still rent movies. I watch movies from Netflix and stuff. So seen a lot of other stuff. But thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, I'll continue with my unboxings. I want to do more movie reviews, so hopefully I can start doing those again, and hopefully I can do another update probably around May or June in the summer, not have to wait another 6 months. And I hope I can just make more videos, showing my face, have more interaction with you guys like this, not just unboxings all the time. And I have some interesting videos planned, some collection videos, but not really movie related. Some different content that I hope you guys can enjoy. Some surprise stuff, but yeah, be on the lookout for that. And I should have my Batman v Superman review out right after I see it next week. Okay, thank you guys. Don't forget to check out Shopkick. Download it through my link in the description to help me out. I might link some other of my recent videos in the description if you guys want to check those out. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you guys liked it. If you guys have friends here on YouTube or other people who are movie fans, please share this video with them if you liked it. But take care, you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm sorry I forgot to show you one title. Put it off to the side. So yeah, this is the Aladdin Diamond Edition Target Digibook. Really nice artwork on there. Did an unboxing of this and every other movie I showed you. If you want to check those out, you can find it just by searching it on my channel. But always love these Target Digibooks. Really nice artwork. Nice release. But Aladdin, I don't remember if I had ever seen it before. I think I must have when I was really young. I was probably shown most of the Disney movies when I was really young, but yeah, I wasn't familiar with it, and watched the Blu-ray, and a really good Disney movie. Just Robin Williams as the genie. Great stuff. Aladdin just has a good story. A poor person living in the street, and tries to win the heart of the princess. Kind of a good versus evil story. What can you say? It's Aladdin. Everyone loves it. Not my favorite Disney movie. Probably pretty close to my top 10. Yeah, I don't have too much to say. It's Aladdin. I enjoyed it. It was a good story, a good movie. All right, guys. Thank you, and goodbye for real this time.